Do you remember when you were little? Almost every child with toys had one similar thought. What would happen if toys could come to life? What if they came to life anyway when we didn't know? Maybe they only did it when we were sleeping or weren't at home. After all, haven't strange things happened to you as a child? Did anything ever happen with your toys that you can't explain? It makes you wonder sometimes, doesn't it? Sometimes you may explain some of these happenings away as a dream. But in the back of your mind, you might realize that some of these things really happened. Then those childish ideas and fantasies don't seem so silly anymore. I remember I used to collect My Little Pony dolls back in the 1990s. They were one of my favorite toys, and admittedly, when I was small, I took the scissors to one's hair, butchering her once beautiful pink mane. Later on, feeling ashamed, I stashed away in a cardboard box with a few other toys just so I didn't have to look at what I'd done to her. Years later, I opened that box, and her hair was suddenly as it was when she was freshly out of the package. It may sound impossible, but it was as if her hair had grown back. And surely I can't be the only one who's awakened to find my playthings somewhere where they shouldn't be. The strangest part of all of this is that I know that nobody else touched them while I was at rest. It was as if they had sprung to life and placed themselves wherever they wished of their own free will. I tried to understand why Mr. and Mrs. Flopsy were sitting by the tea table, staring at me expectantly, when nobody had been in the room for the entire night. They were previously sitting on top of the toy box. I also clearly recall one incident in which there was a clown toy I had from when I was small sitting in my closet. I was digging through my things, trying to minimize my inventory before I moved. There were many articles of clothing I knew I'd never wear again, and even more toys that I knew I wouldn't even touch. Why would I want to keep them if they would just gather dust? When I began looking around in my closet, I saw a clown toy on the shelf. I recoiled in faint disgust. I remembered it vaguely from when I was little. It was round on the bottom, so it would bobble around instead of just topple over at the whim of an infant. I remember it as a small child. I cried at the sight of it. Its smile looked menacing and hateful. I didn't even know what it was doing in my closet. I couldn't imagine any child wanting the ominous clown toy, so I simply threw it away in the garbage. 2 days later, I resumed clearing out the closet, only to see the toy where it had waited for me previously. This may not be enough proof for you, and anyhow, people tell stories all the time, don't they? But think back. Has anything like this happened to you? Have you ever been stirred from your sleep by the sound of a wailing baby doll? Have you ever found an unfamiliar plush toy that seemed to just be waiting for you to pick it up and take it home? And everyone knows that Barbie likes to randomly shed her clothes. Have you ever thought that maybe when you're away, the toys want to play their own games? Thanks for sticking around to the end. And if you enjoyed today's story, make sure to leave a like. And if you want more like it, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a story. If you need more now, why not check out my Creepypasta playlist? I'll leave that on this card, and I'll catch you in the next story.